I have just started my first year at uni as an undergraduate at the Royal Academy of Music, and I survived Music A-level, and I've got a few tips and tricks on how you can smash your A-levels. Whether you take notes on an iPad or go old school with a pen and paper, this video is for you. Okay, let's go over a few things that you should already be doing before we take a deep dive into the syllabus. Make a music playlist. If you don't have a music playlist for each of your modules, what are you doing? Like, you should have a playlist for every single one. I would have the most insane playlist for modern music. You don't need to have a playlist for every single ism. I would say it's much better to have a general playlist. You can easily identify each ism as you're listening to it. And on top of music organization, you really want to have a listening diary so you can keep track of all the music you're listening to so that you can write about them in your essays in section C. How you revise. One thing that really helps me when I'm dealing with different isms is making presentations. It's easy just to write stuff down and try to remember it, but when you process that information and make your own resources, it just becomes a lot much easier. When you can organize the information that you have received, it's just overall a much more efficient way to revise. And lastly, you've probably heard this before, but blurting will be your utmost best friend. You can easily pinpoint areas that you are lacking knowledge, especially for the isms, as there's so much information that you will be needing to retain. Okay, now that all the boring stuff is over, let's just move on to the syllabus. So I got 105 out of 105 out of my performance. So I think I might be qualified to give you guys advice on this.
Get a load of this guy.
This video is intended for musicians doing A-level music, specifically OCR, but this video can apply to many exam boards, I'm sure. For a lot of exam boards, the performance can hold a lot of significance, and it's the one where you ultimately have the most control over. So it's really important that you have a polished performance.
Quick disclaimer for you guys, in OCR there are two performance choices, one called Performance A and one called Performance B. I did Performance B, which means that it's weighted just a little bit more. All the advice still applies to those who did Performance A, which means that you would perform for a minimum of 6 minutes. Okay, let's carry on with the video.
To do so, you will need to usually pick 3 to 4 pieces that would last around 10 minutes. And this brings up a lot of challenges. One of them is resilience, and the second is timing. It's so important, and I can't stress enough, that you need to pick pieces that you will be able to sustain a consistent level of accuracy and musicality. And my top tip, personally, is to do the hardest ones first. If you start with the hardest ones, you are able to catch the mistakes a lot earlier. Since it's only one take, this will be so helpful. As a singer, I picked 4 songs which were contrasting in language, showing I can sing in Italian, German, mood, style, very important. If we are to refer to the actual syllabus of the mark scheme, this is what it says. So your piece should be at least grade 6 level or above, otherwise you won't be able to access the full mark scheme that is required for technical control. The use of all the different appropriate techniques, for example, bowing, breath control, diction, stuff like that, will also be tested on your knowledge and fluency of the piece. Realization of performance markings. Are you following dynamics? Are you following the performance markings? And are you making decisions that are appropriate to the conventions of the time? In OCR, you will also have a focus study, which is a piece that will be looked into more in depth. For mine, I picked Devieni. It's an operatic aria. There's just so much to unpick. I had a recitative, which can be absolutely nitpicked. Singers spend hours on recitative. I finished with Summertime, and for me, Summertime gives me so much space to, be spontaneous and add all these, little ornamentations, make it bluesy, jazzy. It comes from a opera as well, actually, by Gershwin. Yeah, so interpretive understanding, mainly ornamentation is what we're trying to get at here. And something that you should most definitely practice with your singing teacher, because they will know if that is stylistically appropriate, as well as trying it out in competitions. You will definitely get feedback in that. You also have stylistic and oral awareness, how you use your instrument. I think an example I can think of is, again, with the jazz, how you start off your lines. You might slide into a note. That type of oral awareness is what they're kind of trying to get at. Okay, that's enough of me talking. Next up is composition for future Leonie to deal with. So I'll see you guys later.